Shri Ganapati Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Welcome to all for this session on Ramayana to chapter 5 of Uttara Kanda, in which we are going to listen to the story of three sons of Sukesha. A Gandharva named Gramani, who was as effulgent as fire, had a daughter named Devavathi in all the beauty of her youth, famed in the three worlds, equal to a second Shri, that is Lakshmi, and that virtuous Gandharva, beholding Sukesha to be thus endowed, gave her to him as a second Shri of whom he was the guardian. Approaching her beloved consort, who had attained a sovereign state by virtue of the boons he had received as a mendicant on whom wealth has been conferred. Devavathi was highly delighted. United to that woman, the ranger of the night appeared as majestic as a great elephant, the offspring of Aryama. In time, Sukesha became a father, O Raghava, and begot three sons, the equal of the three sacrificial fires, Malyavan, Sumali and Mali, the foremost of Harpes, rivals of the three-eyed god. Such were the sons of the sovereign of the Rakshasas. In response, in repose, they resembled the three worlds. In action, they were like unto the three sacrificial fires, as powerful as the three Vedas and as formidable as the three humors of the body. While three sons of Sukesha, shining like three fires, throw like diseases and have been neglected, and learning of the boons their father had received, which had led him to increased sovereignty and which he vowed to his asceticism, the three brothers repaired to Mount Meru in order to practice penance. Adopting a rigid and formidable course of austerity, O foremost of monarchs, those Rakshasas gave themselves up to fearful mortifications, sowing terror among all beings. On account of their penances, faith, virtue, and equanimity, scarce to be witnessed on earth, they agitated the three worlds with the gods, asuras, and men. Then the four faced deity, that is Brahma himself, in his marvelous chariot, came to pay homage to the sons of Sukesha and said, "It is I who am the conferrer of boons." Whereupon they, recognizing him to be Brahma, the dispenser of favors, who was accompanied by the Indras and their hosts, with joined palms, shaking like trees, answered him, saying, "If our penance was found favor with you, O Lord, then grant us the boons of remaining invincible, of destroying our enemies, of living long, of becoming powerful, and of being devoted to one another." "Let it be so," replied the god, who was a lover of Brahmins, that is Brahma, to the sons of Sukesha, and he returned to Brahmaloka. Thereupon those rangers of night, O Rama, who had become supremely arrogant on account of the boons they had received, began to harass the gods and asuras and the celestials with the companies of rishis and the charanas. Being thus persecuted and having no protector with whom they could take refuge, resembled beings in hell. Meantime, O Prince of Raghu, this is Agastya addressing to Rama, the three Rakshasas sought out the immortal Vishwakarma, the foremost of architects, and joyously said to him, O you who from your own resources created the palaces of the great gods, strong, dazzling, and impregnable, do yourself in your transcendent intelligence construct a dwelling for us of our own choosing on the Himavat, Meru, or Mandara mountains. Build us a vast abode equal to that belonging to Maheshwara. Then the mighty armed Vishwakarma spoke to the Rakshasas concerning a residence equal to Indra's Amaravati and said, on the shores of the southern sea, there is a mountain named Trikuta, and there is also another named Suvela, O princess of the Rakshasas. On the central peak, resembling a cloud, inaccessible even to birds, and which is hewn on four sides, is a city of 30 leagues in extent, covering a space of 100 leagues in length, surrounded by golden walls, pierced by gateways, and furnished with terraces of gold. It is called Lanka and was constructed by me at Shakra's command. That means, as per the commands of Indra or Shakra. Go and establish yourself in that city, O invincible Rakshasas, as the inhabitants of heaven dwell in Amaravati. When you occupy that citadel of Lanka with the innumerable Rakshasas who surround you, none will be able to expel you, and you will overcome your enemies. Thus, counseled by Vishwakarma, the foremost of the Rakshasas, followed by thousands of their companions, went to inhabit the city of Lanka, surrounded by strong walls and deep moats. It was filled with hundreds of golden palaces, and there the rangers of night began to dwell in great felicity. At that time there lived a Gandharvi named Narmada, O descendant of Raghu, and she had three daughters born of her own will, who were as lovely as Shri or Kirti, though not of their race. She gave her three daughters whose faces were as radiant as the full moon to those three Indras among the Rakshasas. The youthful Gandharvis of supreme attraction were wedded by their mother under the Uttara Phalguni constellation, which is presided over by the deity Bhaga. Having accepted their wives, O Rama, the sons of Sukesha diverted themselves with them as the celestials sport with the Apsaras. And the consort of Malyavan, Sundari, in name and nature, gave birth to many sons: Vajramushti, Virupaksha, Durmukha, Suptagna, Yagnakopa, Matta, and Unmatta. Sundari had a daughter also, O Rama, the lovely Anala. On her side, the consort of Sumali, the second among the brothers. whose complexion resembled the full moon, was called, his consort was called Katumati, and she was dearer to him than his own life. I will enumerate offspring that ranger of the night begot with her according to their birth, O great king. They were Prahasta, Kampana, Vikata, Kalikalika Dhumraksha, Danda, Suparshva of great energy, Samhradi, Praghasa, Vasakarna, Raka, Pashupotkala, Kaikasi of gracious smile, and Kumbhanasi. These, we are told, were the offsprings of Sumali. The third person, third among the brothers, Mali's wife, was the Gandharvi named Vasudha, who was supremely graceful, whose eyes resembled lotus petals, and who reveled and who rivaled and most ravishing of the Yakshis. Here, O Lord Raghava, and I will tell you of the offspring the youngest brother begot with her. They were Anala, Anila, Hara, and Sampati. These sons of Mali became the counselors of Vibhishana. Meanwhile, those foremost of night rangers, surrounded by hundreds of their sons, in the intoxication of their extreme strength, harassed the gods and their leaders with the rishis, nagas, and yakshas, ranging the earth irresistible as the tempest, ruthless as death in combat, overweeningly proud of their boons, they constantly impeded the sacrifices of the sages. Thus come to the end, chapter 5 of Uttara Kanda in Ramayana. Namaste Sharade Devi, Kashmira Puravasini, Twamaham Prarthage Nityam, Vidyadanancha Dehime.